What's up, it's Chris with Subliminal Acquisition, and in this video, I want to explain why you're not getting as many mixed clients as you want. And the reason is, spoiler alert, you're focusing on outputs instead of inputs. You're focusing on things that are outside of your control, the things that are the result of the inputs and the processes that you put them through, rather than the inputs and the processes themselves. And more specifically in this video, I want to talk just purely about the inputs, right? And the action that you're taking. So yeah, like I said, the more you focus on what you cannot control, the worse your results will be. We want to shift into our you want to focus on your agency, on what you are able to control. So I'm going to give you a list here, okay? And maybe I'll come up with some more off the top of my head. If you have any ideas yourself, put them down in the comments below as you're watching this. So basically, things you cannot control. Like if someone likes your mix, you cannot control if someone likes your mix. That's up to them, their personal preference, right? You can control studying and improving your craft daily. You can get better at referencing. You can get better speakers. Mine aren't incredible. You can get better software, better hardware. You can train yourself better. You can go do workshops. You can go do a diploma or a degree or an internship. You can get better. You can get a mentor, someone who improves or helps you improve your skills. But you cannot control whether any one individual likes your mix. It's not up to you, right? It's up to them. And even if you do everything right, you still might not get it right for them, right? But you can control how good you get and how much you study and practice and just focus on improving your skills, if that makes sense. So you cannot control if someone gives you money. You cannot control if someone does a deal with you. You cannot control if they want to work with you in the first place. But what you can control is you can have a great offer and negotiating skills. You can control you can refine your script, if you will. You can refine your ability to speak. You can improve your ability to speak. You can read sales copy from some of the best sales letters that have ever been written, that have generated millions or even billions in some cases of sales. You can control that. You can read books like Brian Tracy's Psychology of Selling. You can read the Jordan Belfort, whatever his book was called, Straight Line Selling, or The Way of the Wolf, or whatever it was. He's a pretty good salesman, although he's a scam artist. But you can control your negotiating skills and your public speaking skills. You could sign up for maybe Toastmasters and go speak in front of a crowd, and that's going to improve your ability to sell in a private setting or in a group setting. However that ends up being, maybe you go to some kind of event, you go to some kind of producer's event, some artist event, and you're networking, and maybe you sell someone on the spot, or you set up a call, you set up an appointment. That's something that's going to be a result of your charisma. I'm thinking about every small detail of the system. It's a holistic approach, right? But you cannot control if someone gives you money, or else that's theft, right? We're not stealing money. We're doing deals where both parties are happy to engage in that deal. That's not something you can control the end result of, but you can control everything up to that point. You can control your inputs and your processes, right? So you cannot control if someone becomes a return customer. You cannot control if they want to continue doing business with you, if they want to keep doing business with you. Maybe they did a mix with you, or they did a few mixes, they did an album or an EP or whatever. They worked with you for a while, but they don't want to come back. That's fine. You cannot control that. All you can do is your best leading up to that point. I know that sounds kind of like cliche, like, oh, just try your best. But kind of what I'm saying here is your best. So what you can control is you can build a great money model that encourages repeat business. You can encourage repeat business because you have upsells and resells and different sort of bonuses and different things that you can do because you've really thought about the structure of your offer and the structure of your business and how you want to, again, structure your offers. Basically, a money model is a set of incentives, a structure of offers. And they might have taken your first major offer for a song or a few songs or an album or something. But when they get to the end of that, they might not take your upsell offer or your repeat business offer. And that's fine. But what you can do is when they give you feedback, you can now implement that back into your money model, and more specifically, let's say the repeat offer, or a big part of that is the initial offer, the initial service delivery, right? Because the initial service delivery is a big part of what they're going to expect in the future. And if there were certain things about that they didn't really love, then they might not come back for repeat business. The next thing is if someone gives you a testimonial. You cannot control if someone gives you a testimonial. Again, you can only control giving the best service you can, like I just kind of mentioned on the initial offer, on the initial deal, that you can do the best mix that you can, use your software and hardware and your skills and your ears and everything to the best of your ability to give them the fastest service, the best sounding mix, with the least amount of effort on their part. And again, like I said, as fast as possible. You can give the best service you can. And what did I say here? Giving a simple, I don't know what I wrote, but a simple, effective testimonial, building a simple, effective testimonial SOP. So a standard operating procedure. You basically give them a rubric for how to build their testimonial. You give them a loose script that basically helps them. It just makes it so easy for them. They might really like your services, but they don't want to reinvent the wheel and be like, go learn how to give a good testimonial. And maybe it doesn't hit the kind of certain buttons that would be most conducive to you getting repeat business or new business, I guess, from a testimonial. It's not their business to do that. What you can do, though, is create a standard operating procedure, a PDF or a video like a Loom or something, or an audio note or something. Again, I prefer something that already is like kind of, you don't need to do anything new with, so not like an audio note. But whatever it is, you make it as easy as possible for them to do what you want them to do, which is give you a great testimonial. So basically then you send that to the client and it makes it easy for them. So they might not give you a testimonial, even with all of that, but you're increasing your chances of, one, getting a testimonial, and two, getting a good testimonial, something that really works for you. So you cannot control if someone labels their tracks properly and gives you nice tracks, right? You might want them to label it 48K or 44.1K, 24-bit, 16-bit, whatever it is. And that might be really convenient for you, but they might not do that. What you can control is, again, a standard operating procedure, basically the same thing that I just said for client onboarding. So, hey, what's the key of this song? What is the tempo of this song? What is the sample rate and the bit rate and yada yada? The stuff that you need. If you don't need that stuff, that's totally fine, but whatever you need, whatever makes it easy for you to do what you do and makes it easy for a client to work with you. Every studio is going to be different. Every mix and master engineer is going to be different. So you cannot control if a piece of content goes viral, right? You cannot control that. It's not up to you. However, you can control the inputs. You can control posting high quality content consistently. You can do your weekly YouTube video or 2 videos a week on YouTube, and you can, like this is going to be 1080p. You might do it in 1080p or 4K, whatever. The details don't matter, but you can have it like a good production standard. Your speaking is good, or your explanations are good if it's a presentation or it's a mix tutorial or whatever it is. Those things you can control. And I encourage you to learn a little bit about editing, learn a little bit about speaking. I don't have to edit these videos basically because my speaking is good. If I may say so myself, it's decent. It's good enough to do this video in like one take with no mistakes, or good enough. And I can post that once or twice a week, and then I can cut it up and put it on to short form content, which is something I encourage you to do. You can control that, and then people can see your mixing skills, people can see your mastering skills, people can see your production skills, people can see the sensitivity that you have to audio and to music, and how good you are at bringing music to life, and the passion that you have, and they can see that that's something you can control. And then all you have to do is just put it out in front of people to the best of your ability, as consistently as possible, with as good a production quality as possible that's not compromising on consistency. And there you go. Maybe a video pops off. Cool. Or maybe a video just gets in front of the right people and results in deals for you. I mean, what are we optimizing for? We're not optimizing to be famous, we're optimizing for cash. We're optimizing for deals, for commissions, and actually getting clients. There are plenty of people. I mean, I remember this story from a few years ago. There was a really famous, they had 1 million, I remember it was at least 7 figures. It was 7 or 8 figures followers on Instagram. It was some random influencer. And she started a t-shirt business with links and calls to action on her Instagram. And she couldn't sell any t-shirts. I don't know if it was as ridiculous as not being able to sell one t-shirt, but it was pretty ridiculous. It was like they massively lost money. And it was more because it was very surface level. It was very surface level content, and a lot of people saw their stuff and followed them, and there was a lot of breadth, but there wasn't a lot of depth. You want people to be very interested, deeply interested in what you have to offer, and not necessarily a lot of people. It's much better to have high converting content with a few loyal people and people that actually close, clients that actually, give you their tracks and give you money and do deals with you, than to go viral. However, going viral could be cool, and if your content is high converting, then getting in front of a lot of people is also great. So you can't control if content goes viral. You can only control your consistency and quality of content. So if a song gets X amount of streams, you can't control that either. It's basically the same thing that I just said about the last thing, but you can control putting your all into doing the best music that you can, working with the right people, working with the right software, hardware, improving your skills, so on and so forth. That is something that you can control. So if you're too focused on outputs, you will become emotional, and it will kill the consistency, right? It will kill the consistency that would have given you the best chance of getting those desired outputs in the first place. I'm just gonna say that once again. If you get too emotional and get too reactive to being focused on the outputs of your content, of your music, then you will become so emotional that it will kill the creativity that having, it will kill the creativity, It will kill the creativity that would have given you the best chance of having those desired outputs in the first place. If you get so caught up in them, you're not going to be able to post stuff because you're going to be too worried looking at the lack of streams or the lack of numbers on a piece of content or whatever, the lack of dollars in your bank account because at the current stage, because you're so focused on the end result that you're not doing the thing that is actually going to get you that thing. It's very paradoxical, but it's why patience is a virtue, right? So just do the best work that you can. Do proper work. Put the content out with, even if it gets 0 views. If it gets 1 view, great. If it gets 2 views, great. If it gets 1 million views, great. But all you have to do, as a Gandalf quote, is decide what to do with the time that is given to you. All that you have to do is put the stuff out there and do your best work. So a close friend of mine actually started emptying his backlog a few years ago of tracks that he had. And he's a very talented producer. We all knew it, everyone around him, but he wasn't super well known at the time. And during COVID, he started releasing songs every month. I think he got into like Damian Keys or something. That guy's pretty cool. I did some of his courses, good stuff. And he started releasing songs every month. And sometimes it was even every week. He heard about some artists doing the every week thing and he's like, man, I'm going to do every week. Why not? So he just focused on putting it out, marketing it properly, and letting it go out into the world and do what it needed to. So at the time, he was less than 5,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. And now he's well over 150,000 consistently within like 2 or 3 years. And, obviously that takes time and it's not millions and it's not, Justin Bieber level or something, but it's really, really solid. Most people would be very happy with that, at least the trajectory. And yeah, some songs he's got 1 million+ streams and similarly viral videos that have done 500,000, 1 million+ on TikTok and Instagram and that kind of thing. And it's literally just from trusting the process, just from putting the inputs in. Now, we're not talking about music necessarily as artists, but for your client acquisition efforts as a mix and master engineer, as a music studio owner. So post consistently, hit people up, build strong outreach systems with goal tracking, good tracking, but also goal tracking, and get good at deal making, get good at speaking, get good at reading sales scripts, sales copy, and so on, and just deliver the best service possible. Always be improving your mixing and mastering skills. Get on Mix with the Masters, get on Nail the Mix, whatever education platform, get a mentor, do courses, do the thing, and just get better and better and better. So if you're interested in new ways of getting consistent, high quality mix and master clients for your music production studio, hit the link in the comments, and the top link in the comments or in the description of this video, and get on a call, see if you qualify for a call with me or a member of my team, and we will rough up a strategy to get you to that consistent place where you're having, again, high quality artists, high quality producers hitting you up consistently, and you can really make the kind of money that you want. You can really get that consistent stream of clients and income for your audio production studio and take it to that next level. I know you've already had some success, but let's get it to a consistent level where you're not stressing and these things are working for you and you're not rushing around. It's smooth and it's consistent, and things are automated. The things that are automated need to be, and everything's working the way that you want it to. So if you're not interested, it's totally fine. I'm not going to cry about it. But if you are, hit the link in the description, hit the link in the pinned comment, and see if you qualify for a free call. That's all for me today. This is Chris with Subliminal Acquisition, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.